Hello there everybody, this is Krista and welcome back to the Krista Chronicles, and today we're into this month's new deck digest. So this is everything that came into my collection some way, somehow, throughout the month of April. And definitely not too much to get into today. But everything I've got I'm very, very, very excited about, so that's really fun. You know what? I don't even have, let's see. Okay, I've got two here I was sent for review, and then everything else was purchased myself in a Kickstarter. So let's do the things for review first, starting with the Pastel Prism Tarot by Jad? I don't know how you pronounce that, Jad Maddie. This is new from Lo Scarabeo. I do believe it is out now. I do have a whole walkthrough of this, so we won't spend too long. I think that this deck is really fun. It's got that nice Lo Scarabeo cardstock, easy to shuffle. I will say, the only thing that gives me some pause about this, after having it, playing with it a bit, is that I feel like it is incredibly, incredibly similar to the Rainbow Tarot. Not making any sort of accusations of copying or anything, I don't know. What do I know? I know nothing. Just, I guess, or I suppose, the reason I mention it is just, I don't know, I find it very interesting that it really, oh, I guess I was shuffling in things. Okay. How similar they felt. I put them side by side. I do have a short up on here. Not in order, but just to get the gist of like how the styles look next to each other. And I find they look really similar. So, I don't know. I do think I am going to put this one, or both decks in order to look at them side by side. Obviously there are differences, but yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things of like, now I feel like I've got two things that kind of fit in the same slot. I do love the Rainbow Tarot. I don't know, does anyone else have any thoughts on that? It's interesting. I feel like I've never really encountered, especially with such like a unique art style that the Rainbow Tarot is, I never thought that there'd be something that got that close. You know? I don't know. Again, obviously, like, I have no information at all. And I do really like this tarot, but I'd be curious what anyone else thinks. So, yeah, that is the first deck, the Pastel Prism Tarot. And the next deck I have was sent to me by US Games. I don't really know what this one is. I don't believe. You know, I don't remember requesting this one, but maybe I did. I don't know. I don't remember. It's the Magical Hours Tarot. It does look pretty. It's one of those where it's got a box in a box. I have not done a walkthrough of this yet. I've really only just looked at this. It's in this video because it snuck in right at the end. It might have been the last day of the month. And that's how I've been doing it now. Instead of like between filming, just to make it easier for myself to keep track, it's just within the month. So anyway, I think it's really beautiful. Now, what I will say was looking at this, my first impression was, is it AI? I don't know. I dug into the artist, because there is usually the thing with, from what I've noticed, again, this is me talking out of my behind entirely. What I've noticed is when it is a deck that uses AI, the creator and artist are the same, and it doesn't really like list anyone as the artist. You know what I mean? Where this deck has a clear written by, and then illustrations by. So I do think this is legitimate art. I dove into the artist's social media accounts. It is Fabiana Belmonte, and it does seem like this like style of art has carried through beyond, you know, any sort of AI becoming popularized. So I couldn't quite find like solid information, but to me, those puzzle pieces fit together to mean no. Isn't it horrible, like terrible, I shouldn't say like horrible, but terrible how like sometimes you like, or my brain sometimes goes there, and it's like I would hate for my brain to go there, in which it did in this case, and for it doesn't seem like that's true. It seems like this is like an art, really like this person's art, not using AI. I don't know. Again, I could be wrong on that, but from what I collected, it seems like it's not. So I definitely need to get into this deck. If anyone has any more information on that, definitely let me know. I might ask ask about it, because I'm feeling like, again, from looking at the artist's social media, it seems like this is like a long-standing style for them. But you know, curious. I like giving all the information I can, and that is something that I think is important, you know, to note if it was used. Which it doesn't in this case, and so I'm definitely hoping that the case is that it's not. But, wow, oh my gosh, right off the bat, I'm having some thoughts apparently, jeez Louise. But if, I'm probably gonna do a video on this, because I am intrigued by the art. It's very like dreamlike, which I think is interesting. It feels like it sits in that realm of, like Dream Keepers. What is that tarot? Katrin Wellstein. Oh my gosh. It's not in my brain. The Katrin Wellstein oracle. Feels like it sits in that kind of category, and like these backs are gorgeous. I don't know. I shall inquire, but if anyone already has that info, let me know. Because yeah, I think it's beautiful. Magical Hours Tarot. Okay, so those are the two I was sent for review. Let's get into first the deck that came in from Kickstarter, and then I've got 3 here that I just purchased this month. So excited about this one. This came in from Kickstarter this month. It is the Folkloric Forest Tarot. This is gorgeous. This is made by Lennox Reese, who is the same creator as Coastal Curiosities, and I can never remember the name of the tarot, but I've got it on my shelf. It is the Peculiar Pathways Tarot. Such a good eye for detail. I love her art so much. This did not disappoint. This is a curated art deck. Finnish and Northern European fine art. It's beautiful. I love it so much. Do I have a walkthrough of this? Yes! Oh my gosh, I've got a full walkthrough of this up too. How gorgeous is this? Oh my gosh, I love how it feels like you're really being brought into this forest landscape. The production quality, of course, is beautiful. Everything Lennox does is incredible. So you always know that's going to be on point, but I love the art she picked out for every card. I like the moodiness of it. How sometimes it gets kind of dark in places. It feels very true to what walking through a forest feels like. And sometimes you get to these spots that are really dark and spooky and moody. But then sometimes you get this. And lightness. And the sky. Ugh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. No complaints at all from me. I love the guidebook too. The guidebook is amazing. So yeah, I think, okay, to me, oh, I started that sentence as if there was going to be a negative. There's not. I had a thought in my head just now of why can't I remember a single name of a tarot? Oh my god, that out of print deck that everyone loves. I have it. What the heck is it? Jeez Louise, someday my brain will work. Someday. We're gonna find it. Majestic Earth. The Majestic Earth Tarot is one that is highly coveted. It is beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. But it's very out of print. Sells for very high prices, very high prices. I'm having the thought in this moment that I think if that is one you missed out on and you really are wanting that, because the thing with the Majestic Earth is that it's very immersive. Or at least that's why I really like it. So I think if you are looking for that, and because there's other decks that people have related the Majestic Earth to, if you are looking for that kind of, you know, immersive into nature experience, but the comparisons I've seen, it's never like the same style of art, where this, you know, it's using curated fine art, and so it's got that same feel to the artwork chosen. I think this is one to look into if you are someone who like has really wanted the Majestic Earth. I think this could really kind of fit the same bill, honestly, because I'm looking at this now and I'm like, oh man, I'm really getting this. I could see myself using this deck in the same spaces I might use Majestic Earth, honestly. And I really like this one. I really like this one. I think it's so good. So, Folkloric Forest Tarot. I'll have everything linked, as always. Alright, let's get into the decks I bought this month. Starting with this one came in, this was right at the beginning of the month. It's the Kitchen Witch Oracle. This is a new one from Rockpool. It's a Jenna della Grataglia. I have a hard time with that name. Della Grataglia Oracle. These are the backs, so pretty. This oracle is interesting. I saw Kitchen Witch and I was like, I need to know what this is about. I don't think it's what I expected. So I knew, you know, it showed images of the cards. I don't think it showed the guidebook online. So in each card, we've got something like related to kitchen witchery. So we've got Love Potion here, and then we get like kind of a little blurb as if it's like a spell. So I think what I was expecting in the guidebook was to have more of a classic guidebook message. So you could either use like just the title and the little kind of spell here, or you could go into the guidebook and get a meaning. However, that is not how it works. So a good example is there's a Florida water card. When you open up to that page, it gives you instructions for how to make Florida water. It gives you the instructions for the spell. So definitely not what I was expecting. However, very unique. I don't have anything else that does that. So I haven't quite found my way around this one because I think it's one that maybe is a bit more of a thinker. I'm not one to really do much spell work. I guess like intentional spell work, I suppose you could say. But I think my brain feels tickled by this deck because it's something where I'm like, I have no idea how I'm gonna use this, but I have a feeling there are some cool things to do with it, and it's different. But it's one that, you know, it doesn't like it doesn't hand you a message, I guess is my point. So it's different in that way. But I think it could be really interesting. And you can draw a card of like, okay, what do I need right now? I think that could be really cool. It'd be interesting as like, if you did a reading and wanted a wrap-up card or something action-oriented to do. I don't know. I'm curious about it. I think it's cool. I love the vibe of it. So yeah, kitchen witch oracle. Neat. I love a rock pool oracle. Okay, next up we've got the Gaia Lessons from the Earth. I am so excited that I have this. This is one that I like went so back and forth on when it was available. I don't know, I was like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I've got things that it's like, even though they don't look exactly the same, they kind of fit the bill of this like very like feminine wisdom in nature, feminine forms in nature. You know, where my brain went to the... I need to stop bringing up other decks if I can't remember. Song of the Grandmothers. I'm looking at it right now. Hold on. Phases and Forests. Those sorts of things. Jeez. Well, I really can't remember a single name of a deck today. Oh my. You know your brain is not working the way it should when it can't recall. Oh my god, even like some of my really favorite decks. Gentle Tarot. That was the vibe this sort of made me think of, so I was like, oh, do I really like need to get something else in that vibe? I don't know. And then when I finally decided to get it, it was sold out. Sold out everywhere! Oh my gosh, and then she was like, I don't know if I'm reprinting it, so I was like, okay, I guess that's my sign. Rats! Because then every time I saw it come up on like Instagram or YouTube, I was like, ugh! Oh my god! I want that. And then the creator put up for sale her batch of seconds. And I think that was like my meant to be moment of, I was able to get to the deck, but at a discounted price, which is always a slay. So, because I'm not one to mind any sort of like imperfections, and I don't know that there actually really is with the cards. The book was a little dented, but like, again, I do not care because I'll probably dent it anyway. Oh yeah, the corners are slightly cut, not quite right. But to me, as long as I can shuffle it, we're cool. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. So what I really liked about this deck, again, is it takes all of these natural phenomenons or like structures in nature and inserts this feminine figure. Like, look at that with the mountains, them laying. Ugh, so beautiful. And I just had a feeling that the guidebook was gonna be good on this. I'm drawn to the artwork. I think it's so pretty. And it feels one that's gonna be perfect for summer, especially to bring out outside to sit with. I'm really excited to use it in that way. Just, it's gorgeous. Look at these colors. I can't wait to pair it. I actually haven't tried to pair it yet, because I've been enjoying just kind of pulling a single card. But yeah, I've seen some beautiful pairings for this online, but definitely gonna be playing around with this. So super excited about this deck. That is Gaia Lessons from the Earth. Okay, last deck here. Again, a bit of a shorter one today, but I've been really enjoying, you know, I've been in a process of really like using what I have and trying to kind of figure out like, while I love my collection, I always like to kind of, every once in a while, I like really sort of getting into like, okay, let's take stock of what I have. Am I really loving this? Like, is this something I want to hang on to? And I'm kind of in that process right now. It sort of tends to come around in the spring every year. So yeah, I've been really enjoying that and you know, remembering some decks I've really loved and haven't used in a while. It's been fun. Anyways, last deck. We've got Daydreaming in Situ. So I was heavily between this and the Scarab and Dahlia Tarot. And funny enough, in Thea's membership, the Garden of the Goddess, and she's got a Discord in there, and I truly went there and was like, what does everyone think? What should I get? And interestingly enough, pretty much everyone was like, get the Scarab and Dahlia. And then I did the opposite. I got Daydreaming and Situ. However, it was for a very specific reason, and when I was thinking about it, I was like, you know what, honestly, I could see myself just having both. I don't really have many collage decks. Collage decks are not usually my thing, but I'm really drawn to both. So I don't have Scarab and Dahlia yet, but it's one I'm so intrigued by. I hear the guidebook is awesome. I love the images. I got this one this month because I really wanted to try pairing it with my upcoming Oracle project. I just thought they'd be a really cool pair. I saw the creator of When Olga Speaks pairing this deck with When Olga Speaks, which is gorgeous. They're gorgeous together. And something just like popped in my brain of like, ooh, I think this would be really neat with the Oracle I'm working on too. So that was really the thing. I needed to see that through. And I'm glad I did. I really think this is a cool deck. It's one I've looked at a lot and always was like, yeah, no. But again, because I'm not usually a collage person, but I like what's going on here. It's different. Ultimately, also, like, I like the very art historical lean to this one. Like, I love seeing all these different things in here and being able to recognize some of these paintings or statues. Really cool. There isn't a guidebook on this one, which I also think is interesting. And I think also, like, I just haven't been in the mode to really get into a guidebook right now. And again, I heard Scarab and Dahlia, the guidebook is really, really good. And so I wanted to be in a space where I was really going to absorb that. So that was the other thing of like, I was like, okay, this one doesn't have a guidebook, so I can just sort of let my brain wander a little bit, which felt exciting. It's so good. I'm excited by it, and I do think it makes a good pair. Shall we see them together? I think so. Gotta get my deck. I wasn't planning on doing that, but I'm gonna show so you can see the vision. Because I do think they're a cool pairing. Now, I don't really know, like, what really sold me on this deck, seeing When Olga Speaks with it, oh my gosh. Like, what a masterpiece. I really love Sasha, how she pairs that deck. Of course, it's her own creation, so she's gonna have cool pairings. She always has cool pairings. But I was like, the best one. So good. They looked so good together, so I also can't wait to play around with that. But I think this is also really neat. And actually all three together would be so... Ooh, all three together would be really interesting. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna have to do that. I think a reading with all three would be really cool. But I like how these mesh together. And I think something about the black borders on this one, I don't know why I felt like it just would go better. Now, of course, my brain is like, ooh, it would be neat to see it next to Scarab and Dahlia too, though. Like, what, maybe the white border. But I think this is really neat, if I do say so myself. I like it. Ooh, yes. Now, I do think I selected a name for this. I don't remember what it was, though. It's written in my notebook somewhere. Yeah, no, I don't remember. But we're getting closer. The guidebook is in process, and I'm excited about it. And finding pairings I really like to go with it makes it even more exciting. So yes, that is the last deck I got in the month of April, and that is the Daydreaming in Situ Tarot. So, I'd love to know if anyone else got anything new this month, and what you think of it, how you're liking it. But other than that, I hope you're having a great day so far, and I'll see you again very soon.